Drip by drip, glistening beads of water sink into the soil at Raemelton Farm in Frederick County, feeding the growth of about 25,000 trees.
We grow over 300 different species and cultivars, different types of trees. We have everything from the bread and butter shade trees that you see everywhere to some things that are extremely hard to find.
Oaks and evergreens, apples and dogwoods, all destined for wholesale to landscapers as far west as Chicago. But getting to this, from this, takes years of care, patience, and of course, water.
Giving them absolute optimal water at the 100% level is how we're going to get them to sellable size as quickly as possible.
So what's optimal? Grower Steve Black came up against that very question in 2007 when the Adamstown farm's rapid growth threatened to outpace the capacity of his existing wells.
We can get lots of water. The problem is additional wells are expensive. And if I can go farther with the wells we have, we're better off rather than just slinging money and hardware and punching holes in the ground to use water that we don't really need to use.
Precision and efficiency have always been key tenets here at Raemelton. Steve relies on a system called drip irrigation to deliver water only where it's needed.
We'll have a tube snaked down the row, and every 2 feet there's a little hole in that pipe that slowly drips out water, exactly 0.42 gallons per hour.
But to up his efficiency even more, he turned to University of Maryland research scientist John Lea-Cox, who was leading a 5-year project to answer the seemingly simple question, how much water is enough?
Trees respond to the environment, so they are taking up water through their roots, basically in reaction to the amount of sunlight, certainly the wind, and the relative humidity of air. So what we're trying to do with irrigation is basically make sure that there's enough water in the root zone so that trees don't suffer any water stress.
Easier said than done.
It's very difficult to understand what's going on underneath your feet.
That is, unless you have these.
And basically it's just an electronic sensor, and this just measures water in the soil profile. So basically what we do is we place this into the root zone.
About 6 inches below the drip.
We then connect it into this logger. What this does is it just takes the data every 5 minutes, logs it. It's then transmitted to a computer in the office.
Of course, Steve can't place a sensor under every tree. Instead, he chooses just a few spread throughout the farm.
We can literally watch the tree drink water out of the soil. And if you know how much water you would like there to be in the soil,
25% soil saturation in Steve's case,
then you can turn your irrigation on and off based on the information that comes from that sensor.
Or rather, it can turn itself on and off. The system is completely automated, kind of like a thermostat, but for soil moisture. One of the biggest takeaways from the project? Keeping plants happy and healthy doesn't take as much as you might think.
I'm fairly confident that we could walk into most situations now and just through a combination of technology and some strategies we learned, save at least 50% of a farmer's water use.
But for Steve, that's not even the best part. The system keeps his plant growth consistent, and as a result, the trees are more symmetrical.
It reduces labor for needing to do a lot of corrective pruning if you don't have that consistent plant growth.
He can even use irrigation to speed up or slow down the growth of trees, depending on market demand. And tree farming isn't the only application for this technology. John is also studying how the sensors can benefit growers of food crops, like strawberries and blueberries, and how more efficient irrigation can reduce leaching of nutrients into waterways.
What sensors and these types of systems can do is they are kind of eyes and ears out in the field. So it's not the only tool, but it's this integration of all of these tools and strategies that I think is really going to help farmers just move into the future.